welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And yes, for those of you who love Fog of War, which, well, I'm one of those people who love Fog of War, we have a new Fog of War puzzle for you today. And this one was sent in to us as a sort of peace offering. It's by thoughtbyte. Now, the last puzzle I did by thoughtbyte was so monstrously hard, it was impossibly difficult. I think I did solve it, but it took... I can't remember how long it took, but it was a sort of miraculous grid with indexing, if I remember correctly. Ludicrously hard, and thoughtbyte suggested that this one is more a sort of 2 stars out of 5 difficulty level, and it's called Some Foggy Quads. Some being spelled S-U-M, and you can see not only is it Fog of War Sudoku, in fact it combines 3 of my favourite types of Sudoku. We've got fog, we've got quadruple clues. You can just sort of see the corners of these quadruple clues emerging, and these blue lines are region sum lines, which is another constraint I absolutely adore. So I should be in 7th heaven today, and I will read you the rules of this one in a moment or two's time. But I've got lots of things to tell you about today. Let's start with we're at the start of August. So it is Patreon reward time. If you're a patron of the channel, firstly, thank you so much for supporting us. We really, really do appreciate it. And we've just released a Sudoku hunt. It's called Tennis Anyone, with the help of Glum Hippo, who made, I think, 2/3 of the puzzles for it. Loads of you have already sent in correct entries. I think we've had over 100 correct entries so far, so very well done. If you have sent us a correct entry, that is good solving. But the thing we're most pleased about is that the comments are great. People are really enjoying the puzzles, so that is splendid. If you are a patron, get yourselves over to Patreon, download the puzzles and have a go at them. You've got until the 20th to send in your answer and be in with a chance of winning the competition. Now, other news, I've got quite a few announcements to do today. I don't know why. Yesterday I only had one, and today I've got loads. So let's start with a few people have asked me to do announcements in advance. So we'll start with, I think it's Fabian, who's been following the channel for 1.5 years. Due to his boyfriend Alan recommending it, and Alan turns 25 tomorrow, and I think you're both in France, in Aix-en-Provence, which is a lovely part of the world. So I hope, Alan, you have an absolutely brilliant birthday tomorrow with chocolate cake. Maybe that chocolate cake someone sent me, that French chocolate cake. I still think about that now. Chris, now. You turned 29. I know this because your girlfriend Manyi wrote to us, and I think you're just getting back from a spa break, and you're going to be spending the day with your new Cocker Spaniel Moody. I love the name Moody for a dog. But Chris, happy 29th birthday. I think that might be tomorrow as well, I'm not sure. Craig, you turned 31 today, and I know this because your wife Sarah wrote to us, and I want to wish you both the best of luck with the new baby due in October. I think that's your 3rd baby. So Craig, happy birthday. Filippo, you turn 39 soon, and I know this because your girlfriend Sylvia wrote to us and said that this will be your first birthday as, well, she used the word wonderful, as a father. So you're a wonderful father, and Filippo, your 39th birthday will be your first as a parent, so congratulations on that. Now, I really like the next one. If you follow the channel and you ever read the comments, you will notice that there is a commenter. It could be a commentator, but I'm going to call Orin a commenter. Orin Otter, and Orin, whenever he watches a video, leaves a limerick which is sort of apposite and relevant to the video and the puzzle therein. It's very, very clever. He's a brilliant limerick writer. Anyway, Orin has asked me to read out the following limerick. It's to do with his anniversary. With his wife, who is called Finnair. So obviously congratulations on your anniversary, but this is the limerick. An otter all covered in hair once married an anteater fair, then later asked Simon to shout out while rhyming, happy anniversary Finnair. And I love this especially because it sort of refers to me in the same breath as as one of the great idols of my life, Paul Simon, who There Goes Rhymin' Simon was was one of his first solo albums, and I think that is a deliberate reference that Oren has put in there, but I might be wrong. Rhymin' Simon has got that album has got American Tune in it, which is one of my absolute favourite songs of all time. And in fact, although my guitar might be out of tune, I have to play you something from American Tune. The very last little bit of it is just delightful. Now, hang on. So it goes something like, "So I'm trying to get some rest." Sorry, had to tune it. Isn't that beautiful? It's just Paul Simon, absolute musical genius. I don't know why we're particularly talking about. Well, I do. It's Oren Otter's fault. But I saw a few years ago. It was pre-COVID. I went to a concert that was Paul Simon and Sting, and towards the end, Paul Simon played "Sound of Silence." Sort of unaccompanied, and I'd treated myself to very good tickets, so I was very close to the front, and honestly, gosh, there were tears everywhere. I wasn't crying. I might have been. I can't remember. Anyway, Fener and Oren, very, very happy anniversary to the pair of you. Next, now, I'm going to go for Navoma Ntongvan, maybe. Now, Navoma wanted me to try and pronounce her name, and I've done my best there, but I may well have butchered it, and I'm sorry if I have. And apparently all Navoma wanted for her birthday was a shout out on Cracking the Cryptic, so I've sort of delivered. Shane asked me to shout you out, Navoma. Obviously, the two of you are in Barcelona today for your birthday, where you're going to be enjoying vegan food and soaking up the sun. Well, that sounds lovely. Barcelona is a city I've never visited, but would love to go, and I would especially like to go to the Camp Nou and see Liverpool beat Barcelona. That would be brilliant. But happy birthday. Yes, now. I'm going to have to pause the video because I was meant to do a picture of Pixel the cat. Hang on. That's Pixel. It's Pixel's 4th birthday today, and Pixel's owner, Sebastian, over there in France, said that apparently Pixel watches every edition of Cracking the Cryptic, including the crosswords. Very handsome cat there. And Pixel is getting catnip cake with the correct ratio of catnip, Sebastian says. So that's very cool. So happy birthday, Pixel. I hope you understand that I'm talking to you. And then finally, it's Rod and Melissa's 25th anniversary today. Good grief, that is a big anniversary. Your friend Christopher wrote to us, Rod and Melissa, and says that there will be chocolate cake today for the pair of you. So enjoy what should be a festive anniversary. That is very nice indeed. Now, do I have anything else to say? Oh gosh, I do. One more thing. If you own our app, our Domino app, it's being updated very soon. I don't think it's going to be done today, but it's imminent. And there are loads of new puzzles coming into the app, including several by the Sudoku Skunkworks. So Mark and I have been testing. We asked the Skunkworks to produce a few puzzles for the app as a treat, and they have indeed produced many treats. So if you own the Domino app, do update it soon, and there'll be loads of new puzzles, which I know you're going to enjoy. So that was just another by the by. Right, now let's have a look at Some Foggy Quads by thoughtbyte. These are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Placing a correct digit in the grid will clear any fog in the surrounding cells. So this is the classic fog of war mechanic. So if we put the correct digit into this cell, it would clear the fog from all of the surrounding cells, including itself. But that does lead to temptation. You could be tempted to fill in all of the digits 1 to 9 in all the cells and reveal what's behind the fog and therefore spoil the puzzle. Don't do that. The idea is that you use these glimpses that thoughtbyte has provided, these holes in the fog, to deduce things about the puzzle and work out the logic that gives you actual digits that you deserve to get. That is how this is meant to work. Digits along a blue region sum line have an equal sum within each 3x3 box the line passes through. Now this is going to be hard for me to show, but let me try. So obviously we can't see beneath the fog here, but let's imagine this line. Let's just imagine it did this. Then what we would be learning is that if we look at the cells occupied by the blue line in box 3, it's these two cells. If we look at the cells occupied by the blue line in box 5, it's those 3 cells. And if we look at the cells occupied by the line in box 9, it's these 2 cells. So because the line has to have an equal sum within each 3x3 box, what we would effectively be being told is that those 2 digits add up to the same as those 3 digits add up to the same as those 2 digits. So that is how region sum lines work, but obviously we're going to have to work out where these region sum lines go in this puzzle. It then says region sum lines do not branch. So what do I take that to mean? I suppose it means they don't. It's not going to do that or something. That's how I think that. I think that's what that means. I'm not sure why that's relevant. Now, each quadruple clue is a white circle containing 4 digits. So we can see the corners of 4 quadruple clues here. That one, that one, that one, and that one. These 4 digits must each appear once in the 4 surrounding cells. Yeah, so imagine this was 1, 2, 3, 8. Then we would have to put 1, 2, 3, and 8 into those cells in some order. The digits in each quadruple clue's white circle are in ascending order from left to right, top to bottom. So that is interesting. That is very interesting, actually. Okay, so this circle here, yeah, because this 3 is, I think, going to be the 3rd digit. There's going to be a digit in the circle quadrant that's in this box that has to be lower than 3, and there's a digit here that has to be lower than 3 as well. So I think we know what the quadruple clues are going to be in those 2 squares. We don't know what this one's going to be. At least I don't think we do. Not initially, anyway. That's all the rules. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I think I've got to start with these quadruple clues because this 3 is the 3rd. It's the 3rd digit in. It's the 2nd highest digit. I don't know how to explain it. That digit is lower than 3. That digit is lower than 3 in the quadruple clue. So this clearly must be 1, 2. So there's definitely a 1, 2, and a 3 in those 3 cells. And then whatever is in the final quadrant of this circle will be the 4th digit. This one's even better though. That 4 is in the final reading position, isn't it? It would be the bottom right hand corner of the page. So that's got to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, this is what's going on here. So we've got exactly the same pattern here. And this one is the same as that one. Yes, okay, in fact we can deduce something about 4, I can see immediately. I can't put 4 in here, can I? Because if I did put 4 as the 4th digit in this quadruple, then by Sudoku in column 3 you'd have to put 1, 2, 3 and 4 into those 3 cells, and you can't put 4 digits into 3 cells. There's no Schrödinger cells in this puzzle at least. Right, but in fact what we do have is an absolute plethora of 1, 2, 3 triples, because 1, 2 and 3 are in all of these quadruples, so we can ask where 1s, 2s and 3s go in this lattice of cells, can't we? So where do we put 1, 2 and 3 in row 3? Well, we've got to put them in there. Where do they go in row 7? They've got to be in there, in column 3 and in column 7. They've got to be there. So in fact, I suppose we're building with aplomb the bones of a Fistamafel ring here. So Fistamafel ring, this, which could well be relevant to this puzzle, is a theorem that says that these 16 green cells contain the exact same digits as these orange 2x2s, these 16 orange cells in the corner of the grid. Now I will certainly prove that if we need to avail ourselves of it. But let's see first if we can. So 4. Yeah, okay, I'm going to think more about 4s. I think we can possibly get the 4 in this box. Because the point I was making about 4 not being able to go in this 2x2, well, it applies equally well in this 2x2, doesn't it? But it's actually a stronger condition than that. Because not only could you not put 4 anywhere in this 2x2, because that would put a 4 into this triple, which must be a 1, 2, 3 triple, but actually if you put a 4 here, you've got the same problem. If a 4 is in either of those squares, where do you put the 4 in row 3? Well, it's got to be in these 3, and it can't be. But the same is true here. If you put a 4 in those 2 squares, then you'd have to put a 4 in here. So the only place that 4 can live in box 3 is there, and that is our first digit, and that is going to clear. It's going to clear the fog and show us much more of the region sum lines. But the logic is going to be the same here, isn't it? Again, yeah, it's exactly the same. You can't put 4 in any of these 8 cells, because to do so would plonk a 4 into one of those triples. So that's a 4. That's okay, I could do more. I could do more because there's a very suspicious 5 that's just emerged here. So I have to put a 5 in one of those 4 cells, and I have to put a 5 in one of these 4 cells. And that means that cell must be a 5, I think. Whoa. Okay, so now we're cooking with gas, are we? We've got these squares are 2, 7 and 9 using the quadruple. These are 1, 3 and 8. In each case we've got well, okay, look, in column 4 we actually have a 1, 2, 3, 8 quadruple, the 8 of which must be in this domino, so that can't be an 8 now. No, it doesn't seem to be as powerful in this one. Oh no, hang on, look. There's a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 6. So that square can't be 1 or 3, and that seems to therefore have to be 8. Let's make sure I type in the right digit. What did that do, actually? Oh, I see. It just revealed that this is the end of this region sum line. So we probably need to look at these squares in a moment. Let me just mull this over, sorry. Can we do anything else easy here? I think probably what we're being told we need to do, in fact, let's do that. Let's start to draw in the region sum lines that we can now, you know, we can now see this line goes up here and then it's going to turn there, can't we? So we can sort of start to draw these in using the pen tool. This one's done, this one is not done. Okay. Is that helpful? I don't know, actually. That can't be 8. So we've got a 1, 3 pair in this box. Okay, I've now got a 1, 2, 3 triple in column 5, which means this square can't be a 2. So there is a 2 now, look, on this region sum line. I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 5 as well, so that's not 2. So I've got a 7, 9 pair, and I get a 2 here in the middle box, which means these two squares and these two squares cannot be 2s. Right, and 4 and 6 are a pair in box 5 into these two cells. Oh, I see. And now I can limit this cell, can't I? Because this cell, well, this 4 is 2 greater than 2. There is a knowledge bomb for you. So in order to equate these two digits and these two digits, this digit is 2 higher than that digit. So this digit is not, well, it's not 1, 2, or 3 then. That digit is 5 or 7, which means these squares are a 1, 2, 3 triple in box 3. This is 5 or 7. Well, I wonder whether I am going to need Fistamafel, because that digit by the Fistamafel ring is in one of those two squares, because it's not, it's 5 or 7, so it's not in any of those squares. Okay, let's do the same with this line here. I suppose that, yes, that is okay. That I always worry when lines of the same colour cross, but I think that this must be why this thing says it doesn't branch, because it would be very unnatural for this to go there. You know, if the intention had been that this cell was part of this line, then it wouldn't have ever come to this point, would it? It would have just gone straight there. It wouldn't have gone down there. So I think we can infer that this cell is part of this line, and that this is a different line almost, if you see what I mean. But assuming that's correct, we've got 9 here or 11. So this is 5 or, oh, it's 5 or 7, so it's the same as this. That is suspicious. 5 or 7. So this is 1, 2, 3. Now I've got, well, now that digit. I haven't got I haven't got 3s in the corner. I've got 4s in the corner, very annoyingly, because look, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in column 1. So the 4 has to be at the top there. So these are not 4, but there's also a 1, 2, 3. Well, there's now 1, 2, 3 triple in row 1. So that is a 4 in the corner. That didn't really do anything, did it? It revealed the corner. That presumably applies in this corner as well. Yes, look. The 4 in this quadruple is at the bottom, so there's no 4 there. And that presents a 1, 2, 3 triple and puts 4 in the corner. Oh, better. Right. So we get something here. That, oh, no. All right, I was about to say there has to be a lower digit than 1 or 2 in this circle quadrant. Well, sorry, a lower digit than 3, and therefore a 1 or 2 in the circle quadrant that's going to appear here. And that's true. But look, we've already got 2 low digits on this quadruple, so we don't. I suppose we learn 8 is here, don't we? We learn 8 is here. So, right, so by Sudoku we learn 8 is there, which means 8 is here, which means 8 is here, which is going to be... Is that interesting? And can we... Well, the other thing I take away from this quadruple is that 9 is not in this quadruple, is it? Because if there was a 9, the 8 should have been in this quadrant. So 9 is in one of those 3, and therefore 9 is in one of those 2. 9 is in one of these 2. I love this. Oh, we get a 9 on a line up here. And now we get a 9 in a domino here. So this seems to be very much about domino placing of digits. It's very cool, this, so far. Very cool indeed. Now, oh, my phone's buzzing. I can't deal with that at the moment. Let me just... problem is we don't know whether this line ends or disappears off in the fog, do we? I mean, if this line was 2 cells long, 9, this would add up to at least 14. Well, it does add up to at least 14. Those 2 cells are a 9 and at least a 5. So this is at least 14. So if this was a 2-digit sum, it would have to be 6, 8 or 5, 9, and we would know the order, and it would actually do a lot of disambiguation. If it was 5, 9, that would put 5 and 9 over here. No, okay, I don't see how... Oh! Hang on, I've just noticed there's a tiny bit of blue here. I don't know if you can see that. I think I can see it. So this is turning. This is going in there. Oh, it's probably going to join to this, isn't it? Although, it doesn't have to. Oh, sorry, I'm not quite seeing what I have to do here. What about... Is it this line? Actually, yeah, that line can't have 8 and 9 on it, because that would be 17, and I don't think there's a way of making those 3 cells add up to 17. The maximum these 2 cells could be is 5. So this digit... 6, 5... Ah, alright. Okay, so let's actually look at those 2 digits. These 2 digits here cannot be 1, 2, 3 or 4, so they're at least 5 and 6, which is therefore 11. So the minimum these 3 cells add up to is 11, but the maximum those 2 digits add up to is 5. So this digit is at least a 6, but it's not an 8. So it's 6, 7 or 9. Now, let me think about that. I can't see. Is there a restriction there? There could be. If you put 9 there. Yeah, okay, I see. Sorry, I'm being a bit slow. If you put the 9 here, so you can see we've limited 9 in box 7 to 2 places. Now, if you did put it here, this cell is then a maximum of 7, and 7 plus a maximum of 5 is 12. But if this was 9, because this is at least 5, this is 14 at least, so this cannot be 9. So 9 is going to clear the fog, and that's going to do some... Beautiful, beautiful. So now there's a 7 on this quadruple, and I know where it goes, and that's going to clear these fog cells. Ah, okay, and now I've got 11 here, so I need 11 there, so that's going to clear more fog. 3, let's be careful. I can see I'm going to get a 1 here, but I just want to make sure that I'm going to eliminate any pencil marks I deserve to eliminate. Now this is now 1. So that's not 1, that's not 1, that's not 1, that's not 1. Oh, Bobbins McBobbins face, what's that doing? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. These 3 squares are now quite restricted. They're from 5, 6 and 8. So these are... Well, actually that's not 8, is it? Because we worked out there's an 8 here. So this... Oh, it's quite... No, okay. Right, this can't be 5 anymore, because if that's 5, that's 6, and these are adding up to 11. But the only way I could make this add up to 11 was a 6 here and a 2, 3 pair. So if this is 6, well, if that's 5 and that's 6, that's a 6 as well. And there's 2 6s in those squares, so that's not 5. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be good enough. Because if this is 6 and this is 5, it then can work. We get a 6 here and a 2, 3 pair. And this would be a 1. We'd clear loads of fog. If that's 8, we've either got 13 or 14 over here, which we'd need the 9 for. So if that's 8, that is 9. Actually, hang on. Let me think about that. Oh no, no, I'm wrong. Well, what this can't be is 8, 5. But it can be 6, 5. Yeah, it can't be 8, 5. Because that's 13. And the only way of making these digits add up to 13 would be to put a 9 here. And this would have to be a 1, 3 pair to give us the 4 extra that we need. And that's going to break that square. So this is not 8, 5. So if this is 8, this is definitely 6. This is definitely 9, and this is definitely 2, 3. Okay, got it. Right. So this is always 2, 3. Always. Because either this is 8, 6, which requires 9, 2, 3, or this is 6, 5, which requires 6, 2, 3. So this is never 7 either, actually. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That's so embarrassing. It's never 7 for another reason, which is that there is a 7 there. But that I don't think would have helped me with the logic I just did around here. I was very focused on these digits, so forgive me. But the upshot is that is a 2, 3 pair. So this, well, this has got to be a 1, I think. Let's hope. Yes. This is 3, this is 2, this is 1. So, oh, that's right, I see, that's revealing fog. That's 2, that's 3. Sorry, and I know I'm being very careful about this. I'm just trying to... I have a feeling that all of this should be resolved, but I can't see how immediately. And it seems quite unlikely that that is going to do much for me, but maybe I'm wrong. Have we... I don't know. No, I really... Oh, right, hang on. Actually, that digit, let's just think about that digit. That digit... Where's it going to go in this box? It's got to go in there with the 9. So it's in one of these two cells. Oh, I was thinking it would... Oh, no, it doesn't work. Okay, hang on. So that digit is in one of these two cells. Oh, but it can be 5. Ah, you rotten thing. I thought I was going to be able to domino it round the grid. But if that was 5, it would go here. And then it could go there, so it's not necessarily in this domino. So all we've really got from this is to learn about that this is 3 cells. I suppose if we can't put 1, 2 or 3 on here, this is at least 4, 5, 6, so it's at least 15. Which means these squares can't include 5. They can't include 5, so if that was a 5, this would be a 5. Because these couldn't have 5 in them. Oh, hang on, right, I think that, right, so it is this line, isn't it? Because the maximum size, oh yes, it is, it really is. Yeah, the maximum size of this is not 17, it's 16. Because 8 is not available in this domino. So this is either a 7-9 pair or a 6-9 pair. It must be one of those things because these cannot add up to less than 15. So these are either 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 7. Right, oh, that's beautiful. That is absolute. What a beautiful. That's beautiful. See if you can see why I think it's not particularly clever, but I do think it's really lovely. Because what we've just discovered is that there is definitely a 4 and a 5 on this triple. And that square sees 5 and sees 4. So that is not 4 or 5, which means these two squares must be 4 and 5. And if these two squares must be 4 and 5, that is 7. And oh, and that fixes it. That just bounces straight back. Knocks 7 out of this line, which is now 6, 9, 15. So these are 4, 5, 6, which is going to give us this digit, which fixes the 6 and the 9. Oh, how ridiculous. Okay, so that's 9 by Sudoku. This is 8 by Sudoku, and that's 7 by Sudoku, and that's 8 by Sudoku. And there we need a 5 in this row, so let's put that in. Therefore, this becomes a 6, which means this is 8, this is 5. 14 here, so we need the 9. Okay, that feels like it's important. That's 7 by Sudoku in this column. So these two squares are a 6, 9 pair, which means these two squares are a 5, 8 pair. Let's just get rid of some pencil marking, which we don't need anymore. We've got the bones of a line emerging on the left-hand side, a sort of flash symbol there. What else have we got? 4, 5, and 6 to place. That square's a 5 or a 6. It can't be a 4. 9 here is doing some work in the middle box. We get 9 and 7 placed. And we've got to put 7 in this column, which we can do. That's going to clear more fog. These squares are, oh no, 6, 7 and 9. Okay, that's a naked single. C 6 and 9. So we get a 6, 9 pair here. Let's clear the... And these two squares have to be 5 and 8. Let's clear the corner mark. Okay, and this line doesn't branch, so we can probably do some maths on this, can we? That square's at least a 4. A 3 is in one of those squares as well. Look at that. This can't be a 3, so the 3 in box 6 is on the line. So this adds up to at least 8. Well, that doesn't do anything, because this could still be a mighty digit, couldn't it? 4 we can get rid of from there. 7 in column 9 is in one of two places. Alright, let's have a look at the bottom of column 5 then, where we need we need a 4 in this column. So that's a 4, that's an 8, that's an 8, that's a 5, that's a 6. So that's a 4, that's a 6, that's a 4, that's a 5. It's a bit disconcerting when you put a load of digits in and there's no fog clearance, because, well, if you're anything like me, you're sort of, am I making mistakes here? I hope not. All the central 3 columns are now done. So probably... Okay, so probably we do need to use the other lines. I'm not sure about that. It could be Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8. So we need 4, 5, 6 and 9 into these squares. Let's have a look at that. Can we eliminate anything? We can eliminate 4, 5 and 9 from this square, 6 from this square. I don't know if I can do better than that. What about the central row then? 4, 6, 7 and 8. So that is not 4, that is 6, 7 or 8. That's 4, 6 or 8. That can still be really low though, and that one can be 4, 6, 7 or 8, apart from it can't be 4. Okay, so these two digits are quite high, and this one's on the line, but we don't know. Actually, we do know. We do know that this line ends here, because if it did go to there or to there, which I think are the only two places it could go to, because its next digit, well, because its next digit would be at least a 4, we know these would add up to at least 15, don't we? Because they would have to be at least 4, 5 or 6, and in fact they could only be 4, 5 and 6 if it was those. And 15 is not a possible total for those two squares. It's far too high. So this is a 2-cell sequence that adds up to at least 11. So how could this be a 6? That's probably what we're being asked to do here. I don't think that can be a 6. Here, although here's another way of looking at that. That digit is a 5. I much prefer this. Yeah, that digit is a 5. And that's for a beautiful reason. If that digit was 6 or 9, was one of those digits, whatever this digit, let's imagine this digit was 6 or 9, it would go there, which means these two cells are the same. But what does that mean for the line? That means those two cells are the same, and that definitely isn't true, because 1, 2 and 3 is not the same number as 6, 7 or 8, so that's a 5, I think. Yes. Okay. Now what's that doing? What were we saying? I was saying anyway that this couldn't be 6, wasn't I? Is that true still? I think it's always true because this is at least 11. So that is 9. This is 6. This is 4. This is 9. Okay, so 4 comes out of this. I'm quite pleased that 4's come out of this square because that's pushing this up. That might make this have to be bigger. What are we looking at here then? So this could be 11 or 12. And therefore this square can't be a 1. So that is 2 or 3. Hang on. That can't be 8, I suppose. So 8 is definitely over here. I'm perplexed. This must be... I think this is done. I just need to figure out how. 1 second. I'm not spotting it. Okay, these are 6, 7 and 8. That's not 7. And that's not 6. So we've got a chocolate teapot triple here. No, we haven't. 6 and 8. That's 7. Right, good. 7, 6, 8. 11 is the total. So we need a 2 there. 2 comes out of here, and it's just going to be this final line, I think, that we need to figure out. So what are we looking at here? We're now looking at least 10. Yeah, that's it. That's beautiful again. It's just perfect. Okay, because we know there's a 3 in those two squares, and we know this is at least a 6, the minimum sum of this line now is 10. So if this was 6, we could only get to 9. So that is 9, and that is 6. And there, the fog cleared to confirm our suspicions. And there's a 6 there indeed. So that's now an 8, which means that's a 7. Fog is done. 8 goes here. 5 goes here. So this is now adding up to at least... Oh, look, it's adding up to at least 12, because there's a 3 in one of those. And that's the most we can make this add up to is 12. So this has to be a 1, 3 pair. So it can't have 2 on it. So that's 2. That's 3. That's 1. That's 3. That's 1. That's 2. Now, has that finished it off? I hope so. That's not 3 anymore. In this column, we need 4 and 6, and we can put those in. And now we need 5 and 9, and we can presumably put those in as well. And I hope I'm not getting left with a deadly pattern here. That's a bit worrying. How can this... Oh, it's that's very clever. That is very clever. I didn't see that until I was left with this pattern. I was thinking, how on earth is this ever going to resolve? It's this one. That's got a 2 in it, so that can't be a 1. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I like that very much. 1, 3, 2. 3, 1. 1, 2. I was just wondering if that was going to happen. And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion or proving its position. That's quality. Oh, that's Rhymin' Simon, the substandard version. Loved it, thoughtbyte. That was very, very clever. Really lovely puzzle. Sort of quite a nice Sudoku-y beginning with the 1, 2, 3s. But then it got quite chewy, at least for me. I couldn't really see where I was meant to go, and eventually you had to whittle down this line, which was very pretty. I loved the thought I had about that square. I mean, I loved everything about that. That was just a very beautiful puzzle. And then the final reveal with the 2, 3, 5, 8 quadruple at the end. What a brilliant, brilliant puzzle that is. thoughtbyte, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.